Billy, did you switch keys on Mike?
No. You did.
What key were you playing? Let's sort this out. I want a band fight backstage.
I was in A, G sharp.
You just said A, G sharp.
Oh, you know what? It was me.
Now see, isn't this healthier? This is good communication.
I accidentally stepped on my octave.
Boy, if I had a nickel, you know what I'm saying? Every time I had, and a couple of times I step on it on purpose just to see if I can change something.
Hey,
What?
our hats out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So this band fight just turned into a host fight.
Yes.
Well, let's keep it classy. On second thought, let's not. Let's bring up the next two guests. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Fergus and David Haydn-Jones. Does anyone remember what I wore at my last panel in Las Vegas? Yeah. People laughed at me. They said, no, it will be over in 2 weeks, Haydn-Jones. I was an oracle! Yes, you are. But here we are. We're getting closer to normal, aren't we? Are we getting closer to no masks? Are we getting closer to hugs and no plexiglass? Let's hope. Let's hope this is the beginning of the end, Las Vegas!
You know, your joke about the key reminded me of a story. An only musical theatre audition I ever did. I went into this theatre and I'd worked there before, and the guy said, I want you to come in and audition for Sweeney Todd. And I said, dude, I cannot sing. He goes, look, you've acted on this stage before, you'll be great. And I went in to do the audition. And this guy, Connor Linehan, he's a very famous Irish pianist. He's on stage with his piano. And he said, pianist. And he goes,
Man who plays the piano!
He's gonna suck now. And he goes, so Adam, what song are you singing? I told him whatever song. He goes, what key are you going to sing it in? And I said, to be honest with you, Connor, I'm probably going to cover them all. Yeah. You can battle for your jokes in this one.
Well, I mean, don't blame us, blame him.
See you later. Got great to have Dick Spade back.
Oh! Feels right, Jack Richard's favorite. I'm really loud. Is that just me?
It's good. No, you are loud in general. You're a loud person.
You just gave me the biggest actor PTSD right now. Yeah. The biggest what? Hi. The worst audition of my life was a musical theater piece. I'm literally getting the fop sweats just thinking about it. I was so underprepared for this because, does anyone know the music? Well, first of all, does anyone know the musical Pippin? Yeah, I didn't. Not much.
Is there Scotty Pippin?
And there was a song called Extraordinary. Do you know this song? Yeah. It's called Extraordinary, right? Because you're extraordinary, I do extraordinary things.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, it was terrible. Oh my goodness. And here's the thing. Do you remember cassette tapes? I'm old. Do you remember what a cassette tape was? You used to make those mixtapes for your love. You used to have this Memorex see-through with the yellow triangle and the pink 80s flash. Exciting 80s flash Memorex.
Yeah.
And then you had the double deck, and you'd pause.
Ooh, you fancy.
And you'd put in sweet love songs like Right Here Waiting for You by Richard Marx. Because you were going off to McGill University, and your girlfriend Tammy had just broken up with you to date the football player. was 3 months of beautiful singing and dancing and lovemaking. But I digress. So back to mixtapes.
Sorry.
It's so loud. It's really loud. Right?
Whoa.
I'm holding it here.
Oh yeah, that's louder. Okay. Sorry, these were just blasting us up. So I practiced without the sheet music on one of these songs on tape things. And so I was like, oh, I'll just sing along with the tape. And then I go to the audition and I realize you're supposed to bring sheet music for the
Pianist.
For the pianist. Keyboard accompanist. And so then I had to give my sheet music because I thought it was going to be like reading sides, like an audition.
Right here, mixtape.
No, yeah, the mixtape. So I had to give my music.
Tommy had the mixtape.
What?
Tommy had the mixtape.
Oh, did? I did nothing. And then I thought I could read the lyrics off the page, but then, and honestly, this guy knew I was such a rookie, and he was like, oh, just skip it. And apparently, does anyone here play piano or accompany for auditions at all? There's a very specific process. You bring your accompanist sheet music and you fold it and you tape it in very certain ways. There's a real language in musical theater for you bringing the music to your accompanist. I had my like crumpled up pages and he was like, oh. And so when the accompanist is like, I already hate you, you're already dead.
Yes.
I didn't have the lyrics memorized, and apparently the sheet music was in the wrong key that I'd been practicing in. So I was like, I don't care about the way it works, and I'm a jerk and extraordinary. And that was literally the way you see in the movies, where they go, thank you, bye. Like 15 seconds, they were like, leave the room, you stinking pile of poop. So yeah, anyways, I just needed that little bit of group therapy there, and then we can just move on, because we're in a big TV show called Supernatural now. So suck it, Pippin! I'm extraordinary, man!
Yes, you are.
Oh
my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
yeah, that was a rant. Thanks for indulging me.
I just sat back and enjoyed it. Should we take questions?
Let's do questions.
Well,
What slide?
this line is a bit bigger. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
So the question is for both of you.
Oh God.
When acting, do you play a character or do you become a character?
Do you, just repeat it one more time? Do you play a character or become a character?
Correct.
I play myself. I think, you know, early on in my career, I was convinced that if I couldn't become the character, I wasn't a good actor. And I think as you grow older, you learn to, the key thing in acting is, like, it's all cherry picking from Meisner, from Stanislavski, from, you know, your mom. Like, you pick from all these things that happen in your life, and you use that becomes your process. I did a scene with Sean Penn once, and he was playing my brother, or rather I was playing his. And it was quite weird, like, you know, to meet one of your heroes and watch him do his process, and it was kind of off-putting, and I didn't really enjoy the experience, not saying anything bad about Sean Penn, that was just his process. And it kind of threw me, because I was like, wow, look, he's so method, and he's so in his character, and it kind of really threw me, but I learned a valuable lesson that, you know, your process is your own, and you are always going to be a better actor once you understand that, and once you accept that into your life. And I think it worked for me anyway. How about you?
I mean, it becomes a bit of a semantic debate at the end of the day, because, I mean, it is imagination, right? I mean, one of my favorite lines that I got from class along the way, which was, it's living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. And one of my favorite paradigms is what's called imagination work. So it's clearly Haydn-Jones, and it's clearly a crew, and there's clearly a camera. You're not literally transforming, but what you're trying to do is create as much rapport and as much imagination so that at some point you're sort of, when you're really in it, actors will talk about being in it, right? Even no matter what methodology you employ. And you do have these moments where you're like, it's just you and the other actor or the other actors, and you don't see the cameras and you don't see anything else but the truth and the impulse of the scene. So in that sense, when that drops in, there's lots of actor terms, but like being in it or dropping in, and when you're really feeling that imagination work and the character living through you as the vessel, that's where it gets really exciting. That's what excites me about the job.
You feel like you're riffing. You don't even know that you're saying the lines.
And you are in full immersive imagination.
It's organic.
Yeah.
Is you hear that word a lot. And it reminds me of that very good scene in Extras, when Ricky Gervais walks into an audition for Ian McKellen. Do you know that bit? Has anyone seen that? It's so funny. He's like, I'm an actor. I'm not actually a wizard. They give me lines, and the director goes, action. So Sir Ian, action. You shall not pass. Cut. Sir Ian. It's really a pride. YouTube that clip. It's brilliant. But it's a good question.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Hi. So my question is for both of y'all. And my question is, of the three shows, Law and Order, 911, and The Walking Dead, if you could be on any of those, which would you be on and why?
Law and Order because it's running the longest. I would be Logan.
And they're doing the OG reboot. It's like the original now?
Yeah.
Like, so they, yeah.
Law and Order, 911, is that the Rob Lowe show?
Yeah, no, that's 911 Lone Star. The original is Angela Bassett.
Ah, okay. Huge Rob Lowe fan, so I'd love to be on that. But the only one I've actually seen of those are a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead. I probably have seen
I've seen a bit of all of them. I'd love to do The Walking Dead because I just would love to be on another genre show. And I know actors who have had to work in prosthetic makeup and it's a pain in the ass. In fact, one of my best friends is one of the go-to monster actor creature performers in Vancouver for all the sci-fi shows. And it's a process doing that stuff, but then when you're in it, you talk about becoming, we're just talking about becoming and immersing. When you have that stuff on you, and you're like a monster or a zombie or like whatever, like I would just love to do that. Even with the pain of getting up at
8 hours of makeup.
Yeah, well, 8 hours, 4 hours, anywhere between 4.
DJ just did a Guillermo del Toro TV show up in Vancouver, I believe, and DJ Paul. And he was 8 hours in the makeup chair every time.
That's brutal. And that's where you gotta get your podcast and your meditation game on.
I can't even stand still on stage. Could you imagine me?
No, you'd have to take a roofie. You'd have to train yourself. You'd have to do serious drugs.
Believe me.
Thanks for the question. Also, I'd like to do more conventions, and it seems like Walking Dead would have me at a few more cons. So.
Fanboy Expo is pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
I hear they have a good fandom.
Well, what's your favorite of those 3 shows?
Oh, my favorite?
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's
Well,
about
you know what? I couldn't pick because you asked me to pick between Mariska Hargitay and Angela Bassett and Norman Reedus. I can't pick. But I bet all they're wonderful people.
Come on, play the game. Wizard Gunsy, you're going to.
Don't do it. He avoids the favorite question all the time.
Okay. I would have to say Law and Order SVU because of Mariska Hargitay and Chris Maloney. Their chemistry is off the wall.
They are, and they're both fantastic too. And I've heard that they're both lovely people too, which is also nice.
I can confirm they are wonderful, wonderful people. I accidentally cussed in front of Chris, and it was the best moment of my life.
Chris Maloney did
a really good set.
Oh man, he's so good. I saw him do a play in Dublin. He did the Arthur Miller play, View from the Bridge. He was outstanding.
Well, he's a fantastic actor. You know what I love Chris Maloney from? Wet Hot American Summer.
He's chef or something.
Like he's the canteen guy.
The
military vet, right? Running the canteen. Right. And he talks to the can, right? It's been a while, but yeah. Wet Hot American Summer. That is a specific taste, but you would teen me if you loved that movie.
Yeah.
So good.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, my question is for David.
It's okay.
I love you in all your Hallmark movies. I
A smattering of the Hallmark crowd. I love it. I always love hearing that Venn diagram. Sorry.
That's okay. Dear Santa was my favorite. I thought I couldn't like one more, but this one you just came out with, 5 More Minutes, was really like emotional and
Oh,
easy too.
thanks.
Are you coming out with any more, like for this Christmas maybe, or?
You know what? That's a great question. The turnaround on these things, I just did one called 5 More Minutes, which played over this last holiday, so I was lucky to be in that world. Some people have seen it. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. It seemed to work for people, so thank you. And Dear Santa still seems to be trucking, so I appreciate that. That was my first one. I love them, and I've had nothing but great experiences for them. They're really hard to make because we shoot them really quick. They're incredible. Like, believe it or not, it's. I've told you this before. Like, it's when you get great material, a lot of your work is done. But you know, when you get Hallmark material, it's definitely in this genre space. So your challenge is more to try to bring as much truth and reality to it, where we know what sort of the outcome is.
Do you have to stick to the script very strictly?
Will they get together in the end? Well, let's find out. Will they or won't they? Stay tuned. 83 minutes later, they might kiss. But within that genre and the confines of that, I love the challenge of having to shoot really quickly. They're 3 weeks, and to try to get a little bit of truth, a little bit of get life off the page. You know what I mean? I've been very lucky that I've had some of the best female leads in that genre world. So yeah, I've been nothing but grateful for them. They put food on the table, have had incredible experiences, and it's really fun because I would have thought no way that the supernatural fandom would also have like a quarter Venn diagram that would watch Hallmark movies. But I'll tell you, first close to people. But that's what I mean. And what I love about it is you can have your left brain, right brain. But if you think about it in a deeper way, there's so many women in this fandom that watch it with their grandkids, their daughters, and you know, grandmothers, the whole 3 generations, sometimes 4, watch this show. They also like to watch the Hallmark while they're cooking some roast duck. What? Does anyone cook roast duck anymore? I went back to the old country there for a meat base. Or wrapping your presents.
What country is
and,
that?
You know, you're having that comfort food while you're getting in the Christmas spirit. And it's like, I'll tell you,
When you facilitate.
my favorite, well, and my favorite is the guys. There's a handful of men in the supernatural fandom and in the Hallmark fandom. And they come up to the table and they're like, yeah, just sign it quick. Just sign it. Yeah, that's our Christmas tree. I love you and Dad. Okay, thanks. You rock on the thing. Go murder someone. Yeah, I love that. I love guns. Guns.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all.
My name is Annie, and my question is for both of you this time. What is the number one item on your bucket list, and have you accomplished that, or have you?
Hi, Annie. First and foremost, nice to meet you. Thanks for the question.
Mine is, I got it ready.
Okay, cool.
I want to skydive.
You want to what?
I want to skydive.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm one of those guys where I don't have the adrenaline junkie brain. So I can be one and done. Just like a psilocybin journey. I don't need to do that again. I don't need to do the hero's journey on mushrooms. That's a winner.
Want to skydive on mushrooms?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I would literally land and they would put me in a straitjacket. They would be like, oh, I was in the sanatorium with Haydn-Jones.
I was supposed to pull the cord.
I forgot.
But the world was so beautiful.
It was so windy. Slap.
I don't know. Bucket list. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. But like, you know, God, I have to think about that one. Yeah, I've never lived such a full life. I've never skydived. I'd love to do that. I did bungee jumps, which are apparently way more dangerous.
Way more. Yeah.
I was most likely inebriated. It was like I was 18 on a school holiday, and we were doing it in Greece.
Here's the second
Dodge
one.
place.
But
And the worst thing about it was my friend. So it was like this crane that would come up and would be in a basket and would come out over the cliff, and everyone would be like partying here, and then you would jump past them, right, and go back up, right? But as my friend was jumping out, the guy, who was just a young guy, for jokes said, no, wait, as he was like in midair. Oh my God, I have never seen someone go so mad in all my life. Like, he was white as a ghost when they brought him in, and they lower you down, and then, you know, because you're on the crane or whatever, and they lower him down, and he was like, get this fucking thing off me! And he just went for the guy. He's still touchy about it to this day, 20 years later.
The second bucket list thing is to drive directly out of Supernatural, actually, and I just want to get my motorcycle license. I just gotta learn. I just get very dangerous, and I'm probably not gonna get a bike. And I probably rent a bike every once in a while. I just want to know how to do it. It was one of those actor things. It was like when I learned to ice skate properly from a professional. It was like one of those things I just needed to I want to slay that dragon, because I was about to get my license, and then the stunt person wanted to do it, and then Vancouver was weird at the
And
time.
they couldn't get a helmet to fit your head.
That's true. That's the story. That's
it was like he was wearing a yarmulke. The helmet was just here, sitting on the back of his massive head.
Does some of you know the story? I don't know how many people have seen the panels before.
Yeah,
but
right.
Jared teased me relentlessly that day. Because again, what happens is with props and wardrobe, hats for some reason fall in between the cracks. Like wardrobe's like, oh, that'll be props, and props is like, oh, that's wardrobe. And so then they just had the regular dark catch helmet for
the dark helmet. It was like Lord Helmet from Spaceballs.
Well, no, I was the opposite of that.
What do you mean to get the helmet on?
Well, that's what Jared did. He's like, when he saw that the helmet, a standard large, by the way, standard large motorcycle helmet, like sat like here on my head. I mean, you know, it was like an Irish parade where you have those little Irish hats with the plastic band.
Okay.
The party, like, the party. No, the thing is on my head, mate. The thing is on my head. And then Jared pulls up on his phone, Rick Moranis and Spaceballs. He's like, can we get him this? Can we get him this helmet? Where's props? This is what Haydn-Jones needs.
So it's funny because you mentioned motorcycle. I did an episode of this show. I did Being Erica in Canada. I was supposed to be this real bad guy, you know, bad dude. When I bought a motorcycle and his girlfriend was giving him shit, and I didn't ride a motorcycle. They had to like get me to ride up in this scene, and I was practicing in the car park, and I nearly killed myself about 3 times. So they just like they edited it really well. And I'm going down the road like this, going, oh my god. And then getting off the thing, it's okay. Smooth.
Oh my God.
They just cut me.
But you've ridden a scooter before, but I guess a motorcycle is a whole different thing, right? People ride here at Sioux. A lot of bike riders.
The clutch.
It's the clutch you gotta get in your body, right? That's the practice.
man.
And it's the foot. It's the clutch on the foot. Is that the thing? And
No,
you gotta time it?
the gear lever is on the foot. One down, and then first gear's down, and then up.
I've heard Harley Davidson. Anyone ride Harleys here? Yeah. Harley does a weekend course, right? I hear you can get certified in a weekend. Yeah. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. If I'm ever back,
That seems safe.
no, it's the primer course. But if I come back to Vegas, if we're doing these in 1 year from now, I'm gonna have a motorcycle license. So I'm just saying right now.
What kind of bike are you gonna get?
Huh?
What kind of bike would you get? Would you do like a Mark Shepard and get like a Ducati, like a speed little boy racer bike?
Who's recording this? Hi, Mark. Why is Adam not on the tour anymore? Yeah. No, I think I want kind of like one of the old school like British things. Like I want
Like a Triumph?
A little bit like a Triumph, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
just something.
I can see it, like you're riding it. Like you kind of.
But I hear they're terrible bikes though. They're all look and no mustard. But anyways, well that's what Ketch had. Ketch rode Triumph, and I'll tell you, props and the stunt guy. I've never heard more cussing on set than trying to get this bike to work on like seriously. Oh, they hated that bike. It looked good. It looked good when it ran. But getting it running.
On my bucket list, I'd like to get that car that Kelly McGillis drives in Top Gun. It's a 356 Porsche, I suppose it's Porsche Spider. It's deadly. It's beautiful. It's bottle green. Yeah. So my bucket list is to make enough money so I can buy one of those things. I think you can get like a kit car that's a fraction of the price. It's probably the reality of the situation.
Great question. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
So my question is for both of you. Supernatural does a really good job of having very villainous villains shift into a gray area, possibly even become good guys. I think Mick Davis was a little more obvious.
Oh well, Soul, I think.
But then he died, and that was really sad.
Yes, it was.
So with Ketch,
I died twice.
with Ketch, we see like a little bit of a humanization when he has a relationship with Mary, and then shifts more towards helping save the world at the end. Like, what do you feel is kind of like the defining moment where Kat shifted from a very villainous, cruel person to one of the okay guys?
Wow. Good question.
I would say getting shot in the head. Which I know you can relate to, Mr. Fergus.
Well, I didn't need a bullet. I didn't need a bullet. I grew from within. I listened to the people around me, and I figured that the Winchesters knew what they were doing, but you required a bullet to the head to change your mind.
And then I became a mercenary. But I think the second real pivot was to me, and it was actually kind of an emotional line on the day, was when Ketch comes back in his swarthy brown blazer and pink shirt after sunning himself in the Maldives for a fortnight.
There's a lot of Russian oligarchs doing this.
I know. Ketch was worked for him at that point. But when he's in the hospital bed and he's getting himself out and he says, I need to go see my friends. And I think when Ketch says friends, he really means it for the first time in his life in that moment. And then he gets his heart ripped out, so there you go. Thanks, Supernatural writers. Yeah. To your point. Thanks, great question.
Do you know, it was funny, someone sent me that the brown coat that I wear, and one of the last scenes I ever shot, I'm walking up, walking into the shop basically, and it was in like a dodgy ground in the kind of a scrapyard. And on camera, and someone found it and sent it to me on Twitter. I go like this. Well, I knew it once, but it's like, oh my god, I don't want to see that. Like, and recorded, yeah, they cropped it and sent it to me on Twitter. Smooth.
They're telling you. So it's in the show?
Yeah.
It made the cut?
It made the cut. I think they only did the take once. And it's only for a split second, and then they cut like...
But you loop it.
You killed my runway model career. GQ cancelled their contract. Yeah, thank you. Which side did that come from? Okay. Hi.
Hi, my name is Christina.
Hi, Christina.
I have a song for...
You have a song for us? Okay. Take it away, Christina.
No, a question for both of you.
Okay.
He and Sam's theme song, Carry On. What would the British Men's Letters theme song be?
That got good.
Well, we have, so the British Men of Letters. Someone asked me this on Cameo a couple weeks ago, and what would Ketch's thing. So I have one teed up, but I'd love to hear your take on it too. Anyone remember a band from the 80s that you would have on a Memorex mixtape with a yellow triangle and pink jazzy flashes.
Tommy.
Echo and the Bunnymen. Dun 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 bum 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 bada 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 dum dum da 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 boom dum da 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 dum dum It's called Never Stop, but it's kind of that new wave punk hybrid of Echo and the Bunnymen. It's like never stop, bum bum bum, wow wow, bum bum bum, wow wow. Good God, he said, is that the only thing we care about you? Can't say to the mouth, boys on.
I thought Bullet in the Head would be a good one.
Sing it!
Bullet in the fucking head! Bullet in the head! Do you know that song? Is it Nirvana or Rage Against the Machine?
It's gonna be
Rage Against the
Rage.
Machine.
Nice.
Bullet in the head. Again and again, and they go, bullet in your fucking head! Well, that which would have helped if someone had shit down a minor.
Is it Rage Against the Machine? Yeah. Because that would be very much that. It's like when they build. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me!
They don't make songs like they used to. That was an absolute banger. At my room, my mom coming in, what the fucking hell is that? Oh, bullet in the fucking head.
This coming Christmas, only on Hallmark. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
I think that this is homework.
Good thing that none of this goes on the internet for corporate America to see. A very fuck you Christmas. I'm never gonna work again. Hi, it's not your first day. You're welcome.
I don't know what you're at.
Oh, thank you.
Also a Niall Horan fan, so.
Sorry?
Niall Horan.
Niall Horan fan.
Yeah.
Niall Horan, the One Direction lads.
Yeah. And I was wondering how you, this is after both of you, how you switch in between accents, because Hetch has like an English accent and Mick has a American accent.
No, Mick's a Cockney. At least I hope I was doing Cockney. It was a big tension. It was like, you know, fucking do it, mate. You're from where? You're from London? Yeah, I'm from fucking London. Yeah. I don't know why I have to curse all the time. But it's kind of like, so, but for me, it was something that I just jumped in and out of. For David, no one knew he was actually Canadian until the convention started. They were like, wait. What happened to your accent?
It was twofold. It was a long con, but not really. I was trying to pass.
You did a great job.
I was trying to pass for myself. Because as soon as I got in the car, I would start my dialect tape, and I would run my lines.
Was it a cassette?
Well,
Was it a cassette?
yeah, it was a cassette tape. It had a yellow triangle and some jazz.
What kind of
Yeah, so I just stayed in it because I just didn't want to lose it because it was such a hard challenge for me, and I wanted to lean into the challenge. And also, you know, as you said before, I didn't stay in character, but I stayed in accent. And I just sort of leaned into my British heritage, and I wanted to sort of keep the thing with the posh accent too, is your sort of body changes as well.
Your mannerisms.
Literally a chin-wagging, toffee-nosed twat who kills people mercilessly.
And but it's also I've discovered this with accents. I was doing a Texas accent for this this TV show I was doing in Norway, and I was so phonetic about it. Oh, an Irish guy doing a Texas accent for the show in Norway. Yeah. It's not a fucking comedy. But I did this stuff, like, I had this, like, a dialect coach who was, like, amazing. He did Rami Malek's dialect for Bohemian Rhapsody. He was, like, this amazing guy. And I was really kind of nerdy about the phonetics of each individual syllable and everything like that. And then on one day, because the Norwegians, they don't hear any difference. So, like, yeah, I assume that was good. My Norwegian accent. Speaking of never working again. And then one day he goes, could you just improv this scene? I'm like, oh my God, what? Improv a whole scene in a Texas accent, so it's kind of frightening. But when you're searching for something to say, or when someone goes, oh, will you do this line in this accent? It's hard. But when you just kind of like, and it's kind of referring back to what we were talking about, like being in that moment, and just like believing and being, like, you know, having played the character for so long, you just kind of lean into it and you discover that you can actually do it, you know? It's a tricky one, but accents are you know, that what's her name, that young girl who was in Ozark, who was doing that show on Netflix, well, what's this amazing actor, blonde girl? Julia Garner? Yeah. I saw her, she's doing that accent in that show on Netflix, what's the show called? Inventing Anna. And people were criticizing her accent because it wasn't German enough. She's German, isn't she? Yeah, I think so, yeah. And the thing is that if you ever talk to a German person in English, they'll speak with an American accent. It's really interesting, and her accent is actually, I just heard a snippet of it, it's really, really interesting, and it's really accurate. So, you know, it's a hard one. Like you get criticized.
Well, and here's the other thing: when any dialect coach worth their salt is, you have to let it be yours too. Because guess what? There's no such thing as a perfect accent in any region. Most people have odd hybrid accents as well, and like, or they've been taught a certain way. I was just talking to a Kiwi back in the green room, and she's like, yeah, no one can really ID me because I go in and out, and then my mom sort of had me speak proper English, so that took some of the hard edges out. So it's like, really, it's whether you believe it and it's consistent, and that was my big thing. I just wanted for me to believe it and for it to be consistent, and then to hopefully let that lead to belief.
We want to hear the Texas accent.
What?
We want to hear the Texas accent.
Yeah, see, I knew that was going to happen. Maybe in tomorrow's panel I'll prepare something for you.
Don't be yourself in your corner there. Tell you what,
just watch the show!
Yeah, there you go.
Hi! So I did this play once, right? Very first play I ever did. And it was called Kilt. It was written by a Canadian playwright called Jonathan Wilson. And it's a really interesting play. It was for Dublin Gay Pride. And this very troubled young guy. I also played his grandfather before the war. But the character, the play opens and he's a male dancer at a male stripper at a place called The Ranch. And his mum thought it was a steakhouse. Funny aside.
Well, it is.
But so to prepare for the role, I had to go to this like club in Dublin where they did all these kind of strip pieces. And unbeknownst to me, the producer had flagged with them that I was there, and they got me up on stage. I was like 20. I was so green. I was so young, and there were a load of angry gay men in the audience looking at me. I was shitting myself. And they go, "Come on, start doing your routine." This. I was like totally coerced into doing it. And then I just thought of the genius line. I started opening my shirt and they go, "If you want to see more, come and watch the play." And I got but it tarnished me forever. I was subjugated. Hello!
Hi again.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Very well. Are you wearing a sash?
Yes, it says it's my birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brittany. Happy birthday. Very good. There you go. And to all of you birthdays, whoever birthday it is.
My question is if you have any adventures you'd like to share with us as your friendship has grown throughout the Supernatural fandom.
Any adventures that Adam and I had? Ooh.
Legal ones?
Yeah, I know. This has got to be heavily expurgated, my friend.
No, try and think of one.
Well, I mean, listen, bro.
We've traveled the world together.
We've traveled the world together, and drained a few bottles of whiskey.
We have.
That's to be fair.
Like, the adventures normally take place in one of our hotels. This is going to sound weird. In one of our hotel rooms late into the night with an empty bottle of whiskey.
Latex gloves, a lot of lube.
Dave's hazmat suit has been brought out.
The gimp mask.
Bring out the gimp.
Sheep.
I do like a red ball in my mouth. Oh, what? On a very Hallmark Christmas.
Yeah, a red ball around looks like a Rudolph type thing. Davy does Rudolph.
I can't unsee that! We are both never working again. You're welcome to Vegas! Well, what stays in Vegas, right? Is there a thing that you say about the whatever? But the internet ruined all that!
Yes, it did.
It's all right, no one's recording.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very head, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi.
Apologies or you're welcome.
Hi, I'm Irina.
Hi, Irina.
My question is about my very favorite television trope, which is body swap episodes. And I would just like to know how y'all think a Meg and a Catch body swap episode would go.
What's body swap?
Body swap?
Body swap.
Bodies.
I thought body slop.
Is this a show on TLC?
Maybe HBO.
Body swap. So like, well, obviously Dave would benefit if we were swapping bodies. He would be.
I'd have a really big red nose. Hey! It's the band.
What was the question?
If Meg and Catch were to swap bodies, so if Meg was in Catch's body and Catch was in Meg's body, how do you think that would go?
Well, Meg would die. Probably. I might shoot myself.
I would go on a.
You, David.
I think I would go on a drinking bender just to see what someone else's tolerance and psychology of getting really drunk would be, and then of course I would masturbate. With 2 hands, because I mean that's the first question. If you could swap, if I could live in a woman's body, what's the first thing you would do? I mean, let's
And C.
Let's be honest. Vitamin C.
Jason, that's really good. I feel like you clocked in right after lunch. Look at that one. I gotta say, if we were standing back there watching that last exchange of the Stephen Norton turned to me and he said, you know, when it's their panel, we always seem to arrive one question too late. I think this is looking proof that yes, maybe that's what happened. But you know, hey, what are you gonna do? This is Vegas, you know? And what happened in Vegas lives on the internet forever, so don't worry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the talking and the asking and the chatting from the stage for this very first day of the Vegas event. Hope you had a good day. Now there's autographs, there's pictographs and pie graphs, all kinds of graphs. There's other stuff going on. I think some people are doing a game night tonight. Oh, there's stuff happening. We're just not involved. But
We will be back here tomorrow. I expect to see all of your bright and shiny faces right back here. We're going to do 4 days extravaganza. It is. We could call it Vegas Con, or we could call it My Victorious Return.